I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space, and none will be so difficult or expensive to accomplish.
That was President John F. Kennedy speaking to a joint session of Congress in May of 1961, announcing his ambitious goal of sending a man to the moon. Just over 8 years later, in July of 1969, Apollo 11 Commander Neil Armstrong stepped off a lunar module and took one small step into history, becoming the first person to set foot on the surface of the moon. It was a monumental achievement for America and for NASA, which worked relentlessly for a decade in order to fulfill Kennedy's promise. Now, 50 years after those indelible images first reached our TV sets, comes a fresh new account of America's race to the moon. Charles Fishman's One Giant Leap, the impossible mission that flew us to the moon, is a unique look at the Apollo project, its origins, its many challenges, and its continuing legacy in our everyday modern lives. Charles Fishman joins us now as part of 13's Summer of '69 celebration. How much did we know about getting to the moon when Kennedy made his announcement?
That's exactly how extraordinary a challenge it was. It was impossible when Kennedy said, "Let's go do it." Not only was it impossible, the United States had a total of 15 minutes of spaceflight experience at that moment when the speech was given. That was Alan Shepard's first flight, and only 5 minutes and 6 seconds of that time had been spent in orbit. We had no idea how to fly to the moon when Kennedy said, "Let's go." That's why NASA thought we could beat the Russians, because they didn't know how to do it either.
So, Charles, you tell this big story, and in the course of telling this big story, you tell a bunch of little stories. Any one of those little stories, or any couple of those little stories that have stuck with you that you find particularly memorable?
I mean, the race to the moon is filled with these wonderful moments. NASA almost forgot to take a flag. NASA planned everything down to the second. Every mission was scripted second by second. Everybody in mission control and in the spaceship knew what they were supposed to do at every minute, but no one thought, what are we going to do about the wonderful human moment when we land on the moon? How are we going to, what's going to be our Mount Everest or our North Pole where you plant the flag? And that image, the image of the astronauts with the flag, both for Apollo 11, for Armstrong and Aldrin, but for all the rest of the moon missions as well, that is one of the iconic images. How can you almost forget to take a flag?
As you write it in your book, there are a lot of people who say, this was a monumental achievement, but ultimately it was a dead end because it didn't take us to the space age. It didn't, for example, take us to Mars and beyond. How do you respond to that?
You know, I had heard and understood that argument for many years before I tackled the book, and I thought it is true that we don't picnic on the moon, we don't do our PhD research in orbit yet. So what did this monumental accomplishment must have gotten us something? Here's what it got us. It got us the world we live in now. Apollo was so demanding that the computers that flew those spaceships to the moon had to be invented from scratch. NASA and MIT, which made those computers, were the first customers anywhere in the world for something called the integrated circuit, the computer chip. Moore's law was inspired in part by what MIT did during the 1960s. NASA, Apollo, the race to the moon, really laid the foundation for the digital revolution that started blossoming just, a few years after the last moon landing in 1972. And so it's not just that we didn't get much from it. We actually got a payback of 1,000-fold, and we live in that world every day.
All right, Charles, we'll end it with that. The book is One Giant Leap, The Impossible Mission That Flew Us to the Moon. It's really, really a very good book. Charles, thanks so much for writing it, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.